gay Democrat mayor who raped boys for years just made disgusting demand after being caught. They say that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. This has shown itself to be true time and again with people in power around the world through the ages. We as the voters have to be very careful who we put in places of power. Not only can we destroy our own legal system if we put the wrong people in charge of sensitive issues, but they might leverage that power to serve their own sadistic pleasures. That was the case with an openly homosexual Democrat who won the mayorship in the city of Seattle. Mayor Ed Murray had a history in public office that might make him as good as any candidate for the position of mayor, but what people didn't know was his history with the weak and defenseless in his care before he made the move to public service. This perverted power-hungry man not only molested multiple children put in his care by the foster system, he actually paid them off with money and even drugs. Now, he's been caught in these lies and he's demanding that people just take his word for it that these claims, by multiple victims, and with the paper trail to match, are all lies and that they let him stay in power. Via Fox News. Seattle, 3 decades before Ed Murray was elected Seattle's mayor, an Oregon child welfare investigator found out he had sexually abused his foster son, prompting state officials to conclude that under no circumstances should Murray serve as a foster parent in the future. The findings were reported Sunday by the Seattle Times, after Oregon's Department of Human Services in April unearthed old records, previously thought to have been destroyed, at the newspaper's request. The agency initially withheld many of the documents, but it released them to the Times this month after it appealed, agreeing that it was in the public interest to do so. In the professional judgment of this caseworker who has interviewed numerous children of all ages and of all levels of emotional disturbance regarding sexual abuse, Jeff Simpson has been sexually abused by Edward Murray, Child Protective Services caseworker Judy Butler wrote in the May 1984 assessment. Murray's former foster son, Jeff Simpson, is one of 4 men who publicly accused him this spring of sexually abusing them long ago. Murray adamantly denies the allegations, but he declined to seek re-election. In a written response Sunday, Murray said the child welfare investigator never interviewed him and that neither he nor his attorney was informed of the findings at the time. He said the allegations were fully investigated and prosecutors never brought charges. That she believed Jeff's claims at the time and advocated on his behalf is painful to see, but does not change the fact that, based on the totality of the evidence that was collected, the district attorney declined to file charges, Murray said. Still, the Times reported, the newly disclosed records reveal that a Multnomah County prosecutor declined to pursue charges because of Simpson's troubled personality, not because she thought he was lying. Simpson said the abuse began in 1980, when he was 13 and spending a weekend with Murray. The abuse continued after Murray became his foster father and lasted until he left Murray's care at age 16, Simpson said. At times, Murray paid Simpson $10 or gave him drugs for sex, he said. So those are the dirty details of what happened and what makes Murray the lowest scum of the earth. Now let's move on to talking about his side of the story. Apparently, this is all just a big misunderstanding and we should all be looking the other way and letting him do whatever he wants. After all, he's here, he's queer and we're not supposed to do anything about it. Here is Murray's statement. Since the day several months ago when sexual abuse allegations surfaced against me in the media, I have been clear that those allegations are false. They remain just as false today as they were back then. But I also know that the allegations about events more than 30 years ago have created a cloud of uncertainty in the public mind. That is why in May I announced that I would not seek re-election to the job that I love, serving as mayor of Seattle. As I said at the time, it was a very difficult and painful decision for me. But upon reflection I felt that putting the best interests of the city first meant that I had to announce that I would step aside and allow someone else to take leadership of city government at the end of my term. Guiding my decisions is my continued focus on what is in the best interest of the city. I know that today a member of the council has issued a statement calling on me to resign, and warning of action against me if I do not. I continue to believe such a course of action would not be in the city's best interest. That is why I am not going to resign, and intend to complete the few remaining months of my term as mayor. My administration and I continue to govern the city effectively, and I am proud that we continue to deliver results that will improve the lives of the people of Seattle. Last week we announced the opening of an innovative, 75-bed navigation center to help house homeless people suffering on our streets. Today we are announcing an agreement to expand the use of body cameras by Seattle Police, so we can increase transparency and accountability and strengthen the bonds of trust between police and our communities. And we have many more important announcements coming over the next few months. Seattle needs steady, focused leadership over the next several months. We have a lot of work to do. Establishing an effective transition between administrations takes months of careful planning and preparation, work that I and my team have already begun. We do not need the sort of abrupt and destabilizing transition that resignation would create, likely bringing the city's business to a grinding halt. Council action against me would similarly prevent the city's business from continuing, only so I can again show those allegations from 30 years remain false. The Seattle City Council isn't happy about what he's doing, and they're looking for ways they might remove him from office, beginning by just asking him to resign on his own. As we've seen, the mayor, who shows no remorse, doesn't plan to do that and may end up being forcibly removal. The city of Seattle has a choice to make. They can side with their mayor, because it's the fashionable thing to do to side with the gay person, or they can stand up for the innocent and make this predator pay for what he's done to the children who were put in his care. These people can't get their childhood back, but the powers that be can make the perverted child molester who is responsible pay for his actions. Share if you think Murray should go to prison. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.